Super awkward transition time. I apologize for this. There was a comment in yesterday's video comment section that I forgot to bring up when I was recording today. So I'm going to do that real quick and then you'll have your regular scrap to happiness thing. Sorry about that. I know that's super awkward. It's gonna be over the picture of this really nice bungee chair. Right. Yeah. Bungee chair. Be back in a sec.
The answer to why is fear. People who attack others generally do so because they are defensive. People who talk smug about your appearance are insecure about their own. Make sure to treat them correctly, as you are facing a hurt person. The wrong way to react is being defensive and insulting the attacker, / looking down on him. See the person on eye level and take the high road, the right way. There is someone who is weak and hurt, who's sending you a disguised "help me" message. To put things into relation, if someone cannot even bring up the courage to say "help me" and instead needs to disguise it as an attack, he's pretty much on the lower end of the food chain. You do not need to help these people, nor is it specifically good to do so. But for your own sakes, put things into perspective. People attack you because they're afraid, backs to the ropes, clawing towards your face. Every homophobe in the world is scared of being shunned by his community if he doesn't lash out enough. Every racist is afraid of something. People are just afraid of everything, and that makes them do what they do. Keep that in mind. It is fear that guides most people's actions.
Salutations one and all to day 13 of our Scrap to Happiness project. My name is Cosmic Afro, and like I said in yesterday's comments for the raffle going up, I was looking through the raffle list yesterday and I saw some people suggesting my video series for the people who were having depression, and I thought, that was super incredible of you guys. I honestly don't know what to say other than thank you. That's something that's really cool, and I hope that they will take a look at these series and that they'll cheer up a little bit. Or they'll at least get something out of it. That's all I really want for them. And that's all I want for you guys, is just get a little bit out of it. Sorry if my hair's a little weird, spiky. It's whatever. Today I wanted to talk with you guys about being honest with yourself. It's not a difficult thing to do, but it's hard to keep up with in practice. There's a lot of things that I believe that people want to accomplish in life. And I can understand, and I have to say with all honesty towards you guys, that not everything is going to happen. You have to be honest with yourself and realize, when do I go for my goals and when do I not go for my goals? When have I set something too lofty? When have I done something that is no longer possible to complete? When do I stop? You don't want to waste your own time on projects that can no longer be completed. You don't want to waste your time on something that gives you no benefit towards the end, or any gain at all. So you have to be honest with yourself and realize, when do you have to stop and start your next deal, start your next goal? That's a difficult thing to come to terms with. Oftentimes we want to see things all the way through. Is it possible every single time? Unfortunately, no. So sometimes you have to realize that you have to take a couple steps back, and you have to look at what you've done and what you can still do, and if you can't continue, be honest with yourself. If you say that something is not working out, there's no reason to continue pushing forward unless it's, towards your life and actually staying alive. I know that some people, unfortunately, get trapped in some positions where they have to keep working at a job, or they have to keep doing this activity to make sure that they make ends meet. I understand. I hope that you do everything to avoid getting in those kind of situations, but if they happen, I eagerly wish for you to make a goal, make the steps to get out of that situation as early as possible and get your life back where you would like it to be. But let's talk more about when to stop. The first flag that'll come up when you think that your goal can no longer be accomplished is when the goal itself has changed. Whatever you originally started out to do, and it changes to be something completely else that you didn't intend, it can be a good thing or it can be a bad thing. If it turns out to be a good thing, then you don't need to stop. But if your goal has changed and it's something that you don't agree with or you don't want to do, and you're not in the aforementioned situation where you have to do it, then it's time to start thinking about stopping that and moving on to something else. The second is, let's say it's a hobby and it no longer becomes fun. If your hobby isn't something you enjoy doing, maybe it's time you take a break, you move on to something else. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I like to write stories. I haven't really published anything out there yet because I know I'm not quite set up and I'm not quite good enough yet to get my stuff out there. I'm working on it. I'm decent in my own eyes, but I know I still have a lot of room to improve. So, my hobby is still fun, but I still do take breaks from writing because there are times when I don't think it's fun anymore, and I realize that I'm pushing myself too much in a direction that I didn't originally intend. So I stop, and I move on to something else until I am ready to move back to it. If you're not ready to move back to it, usually the results are kind of slanted, and you don't get exactly what you intended in the first place. So there you go. Can't even speak today. Ugh. The third flag might be that the project has become too large for you to handle, and you're not able to get any assistance on it. Large projects are fun, and there have been some awesome long projects out there that people have done over the years. One of my favorite games would be Dust and Elysian Tale. That was made by one person aside from voice acting, and that took him about 4 years to do it. That's a long project, but he was sure that he could handle it. That's fine. Also, I encourage you to check out that game. It's pretty nice. But sometimes a project becomes unmanageable. And if a project becomes unmanageable to you, that's a sign that you should stop, or at least learn where you can get some help, and then get some help to continue on your project. Another time you might need to stop a project is if the project might end up bringing some harm to yourself. You should never start a project that could intentionally harm yourself or others, but sometimes we don't realize that at the beginning when we're starting something. It happens quite often, and it's a good thing to realize that you need to stop before it turns into something that is unmanageable, changes your goals, and could bring harm to yourself. And all of that is just being honest with yourself. And it's okay. If you need to tell yourself that you really don't like what you're doing, that's fine. If people are counting on you for some kind of hobby, drawing, project, video, some kind of game, something, and you tell yourself and you believe that you don't want to do that thing, it doesn't make you happy, you might be doing it as a favor for a friend, at least let them know. Be honest with yourself that, this isn't good for you anymore. This isn't something that you want to do. Because that just ends up hurting you in the long run. And it should only be stuff that you want or need to. Again, those aforementioned situations where that might come up. I apologize that this one is a little bit rambly. I have a few mixed feelings about what I'm bringing up today, considering that I personally also have a few issues, and that's fine. I'm being honest with myself here, that I have a few issues with being honest to myself. I push myself a little bit too hard for the sake of others. I'm terrible to myself, to be honest. I wouldn't say masochistic. I don't enjoy bringing pain to myself, but I definitely don't put myself in the most positive lights, and it's weird for me to tell other people, I guess hypocritical in some sense, it's weird for me to tell people to be honest with themselves when I still have that issue. But I wouldn't be saying it if I didn't believe that you guys you know, it's important for you guys to have that as well as I. And that is something that I myself have been working on and will continue to work on, because this project has shown me, not just from the start, that you guys do care. There are people out there who care, and they want to get better, and they want to offer other people advice, and they want to go out there, and they want to help people, and that makes me happy to hear, and I have to be able to do it myself. And I do. There's really no excuse on that front. I can't say it and then not do it myself, can I? Sorry if this one is very rambly today, isn't it? But I wanted you guys to know that I do sincerely care about wanting people to just be a little happier. I want to help people get out of their depression, and I want people to be able to move forward, but I can't do that, and you can't do that without being honest with yourself. You have to be able to tell yourself that something is wrong. You have to be able to recognize the problem in front of you. And if you can't do that, you don't see a problem, you don't change anything, nothing ever gets better. I guess that's what I wanted to say in the long run. Sorry it took me so long to get there. But, thank you guys. Since tomorrow is day 14, that's going to be 2 weeks that we've been doing this. That doesn't even feel like that long of a time, but we've been doing it anyways. 2 weeks. Tomorrow's raffle is going to be a little bit better than a normal, just a refined metal and a few items here and there. And then the 21st day is going to be even better than that, and then the 30th day is going to be spectacular. So I hope you guys will stick with me until then, and we'll find another project to do. But thank you guys very much for watching. Check out my Steam if you'd like to chat with me. Check out the Space Barbers group. Speaking of, Space Barber group, tonight, Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time, and Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Time, I'm going to be on the Scrap TF servers. I hope that I will see you guys there with me. I will most likely be recording for videos. I wouldn't miss it for the world if you guys were on there, and it would mean a lot to see and meet some of the people that I've been reaching out to. So, thank you. Hey.